All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for signing in today on the Zoom meeting for Winning Futures. You will not be able to talk. If you want to send questions, you have to send them in the chat. I'll give you a quick review of Winning Futures from my experience. I've been working with Winning Futures for the past 3 years. I've worked at the Harper Woods High School in the mornings with I have sophomores now. My first year I had seniors. These past 2 years I've had sophomores, and the Winning Futures program has taught me just as much as I've been there to assist with the kids. And the kids are learning so much from this program, giving them job skills, getting them ready for college, whatever it may be. Today we have Kimberly Marsh. She is one of the program facilitators for Winning Futures, and she is going to go over our presentation for today. So with that, I'll pass it over to Kim.
Thank you, Michael. All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to present our program before you. This is not my first time presenting to your company. Pre-pandemic, a couple years ago, I had a chance to go downtown Detroit, and I worked with Cora, and I had a chance to do a presentation. So I enjoy working and presenting before you all. I do want to say, if you have questions, put it in the Q&A box. So there is a chat box, but also I want you to put your questions in the Q&A because we're going to answer those questions at the end. So as mentioned, my name is Kimberly Marsh, and I am a program facilitator with Winning Futures. I'm in my 4th year. I absolutely love what I do. I've been teaching for over 20 years, but again, I've just been with Winning Futures for the 4 years. I have my co-worker, Kenton Wise, on, and he's going to disappear in a second, but you'll see him come back during the question and answer section. He's going to moderate the questions for us. All right, so Winning Futures' mission is to be an exemplary business education partnership that inspires and prepares teens to be successful in a career through workforce preparation, life skills, strategic planning, mentoring, and scholarship programming. And before I go on, I want to thank Cora, because I've worked with Cora and she helped coordinate this presentation for you guys, finding the right time, sending out the emails to make sure you all knew where and when to show up. So I just want to give some kudos to Cora. All right, so Winning Futures, I'm sorry, kind of frozen a little bit. You guys give me a second, that's weird. I'm gonna have to re-share my screen. Alrighty, give me one more second. That's so funny, share computer sounds. All right, let's try this. All right, so let me introduce you to another mentor in our program, Sharon, and her mentee, Depita. So Depita is the student in the cap and gown holding a certificate, and Sharon is the adult to the left, and that's her mentor. Now, Depita's family migrated to the United States when she was just 5 years old. And Depita was educated through our system and became really good at our language and understanding our culture. So much so, she became the interpreter and even the helper in her family, helping them pay bills, helping translate for her parents, even helping taking care of her younger brothers and sisters. So this brought on a lot of pressure with Depita, because all the while she's a teenager and she's learning how to navigate through high school issues, relationships, and all those different things. And plus now trying to figure out what she want to do career-wise. So she had a friend who was in Winning Futures and told her about Winning Futures. And that next school year, Depita found herself as a student in Winning Futures, and that's when she was paired up with Sharon. Sharon helped her create goals for her grades, and she increased her grades, helped her figure out a career plan, and even helped her family figure out the financial aid process along with Winning Futures. And so even to this day, Sharon and Depita have a great relationship. Depita is in her junior year at U of M in Ann Arbor studying immigration law, as well as having an emphasis on women's study. And she just told me that a couple weeks ago. She's moved into her own apartment, and her and Sharon, again, still have a pretty good relationship. And Sharon came up and helped her decorate and make her first meal. So that's a little bit about Sharon and Depita and the impact that mentoring can have. So Winning Futures was founded in 1994 by Sam Cupp. So that's a picture of Sam. Sam was educated during the Warren Consolidated School District. So he went to school in Warren. And his senior year, Sam was at risk of not graduating on time. He was distracted by some dysfunction that was happening in his home. He didn't even realize he was missing credits and he wasn't on track to graduate. But his English teacher noticed and talked with his counselor, and together they came up with a plan to help Sam recuperate credits and graduate on time. So Sam gets a co-op at Hamilton Chevrolet in Warren. He meets Gene Hamilton, who was the owner at that time, who also became his mentor. Sam graduated from high school on time, continued working at Hamilton Chevrolet, eventually became the owner of Hamilton Chevrolet and 26 other businesses. So Sam had a chance to reflect on his life, and he thought, how did I get here? I came from a broken home that had dysfunction. I was at risk of not graduating on time, but here I am, the owner of 26 successful businesses. And Sam attributed that to his teacher and his counselor taking note of him, giving him attention, and having a business mentor. So here we are today in 2020. We are in our 26th year of providing program, and we have impacted 49,000 students. We've given over $1.9 million in scholarship money away. We are an official 501c3 nonprofit organization where over 80% of our funds go back into programming, which is impressive because most organizations, especially mentor organizations, less than 70% of their funds go into their program. So Winning Futures have been awarded lots of awards and honors. One that we're most proud of is that in 2013, we were named Crane's Best Managed Nonprofit. So we're really proud of that. And if we talk about in our office, if we can win it again, we would. But you can only win it one time. And another honor that we are excited about is that we are considered mentoring experts in Michigan by the National Mentoring Partnership. And we are the only ones in Michigan that holds that distinction. So we're proud of that. We have high numbers of student success. 88% of our students changed their continuing education plan to better fit their career goal. And what this says, you know, when you're talking to kids or teenagers and you say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? They tell you an answer. Some may know, but most don't. I mean, it can be too early to really know exactly what you want to be, or some may say what people have told them, like you should go into this or you should do that. And so what we do with Winning Futures, we give assessments, we help students discover who they are, their strengths, their weaknesses, their values, and we help them find a career pathway that lines up with that. So through that process, we discovered that 88% of those students change their plan to something that's better fit for them. 91% of our alumni surveyed are enrolled in continuing education. 91% of our students improve skills that's required to be successful in a career. And 94% of alumni surveyed is currently employed. And so those are a high number of successes, and there's no way we can do that without our mentors. Our mentors are truly the key to success. People like Michael and Sharon come in that 1 hour a week, make that commitment to help our students figure out their path to life, create a strategic plan. So it's a 1 hour a week commitment. There's a screening process. All candidates will have a state and federal background check. You'll be teamed up with, this is 3 to 4, but actually moving forward, we'll talk a little bit more about what things are like with the pandemic and what we're expecting moving forward. But moving forward, we believe we'll have teams of 2 to 4. So you may have a team of 2 and you can go all the way up to being paired with 4 mentees. You'll be trained and coached on our curriculum, and we consider ourselves to be a prepackaged program. And basically what that means is we do all the work, all the research, we put everything together and we give it to you, and then you work with your students one-on-one with that information. So as I mentioned, you know, the precautions for COVID-19 has us in a place where we're just not sure what the fall is going to look like. With that being said, we have decided to do virtual mentoring. So all of our mentoring will be virtual online. And so you all heard me say the 1 hour a week. And so can 1 hour a week really make a difference? And I want to submit to you that it can. And I think I heard Michael co-sign earlier, 1 hour a week can make a difference. I'm going to show a video. It's about 2 minutes long. In this video, you'll see students and mentors talking about the impact of our program.
Winning Futures is an innovative mentoring program where we team up young people with mentors from the community who help our students work on strategic planning, the basics of goal setting, and giving them the tools so they can become self-reliant, whether they want to be successful in the world of work, or they can use those tools right now to help them with their continuing education.
What I get out of Winning Futures is an amazing experience with mentors and everyone here that helps us strive and reach our goals for the future.
What I've learned from my mentor is to strive for success and do whatever is in my heart to do.
I really love having a mentor to prepare me for my future.
Great way to start the morning. Positive attitude. Attitude is everything, as we say in Winning Futures.
Attitude is everything. You can't always be mean, disappointed at everybody, hate the world. It doesn't hurt to be happy.
Before I got into this program, I didn't really have much of a positive attitude. I feel like this program has changed my attitude from negative to positive.
They helped me a lot. It helped me get a positive attitude, told me how special I was and how good I am as a person, you know. It made me feel better and not worry about what other people say about me.
You can count on me, like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there.
I mentor because I want to make a difference in someone's life.
My mentor encouraged me to go for what I want and to chase my dreams.
To be able to plant the seeds for future growth brings great pleasure to me.
I have a winning future.
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 Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
I love that video. Every time I see it, I just get excited. It reminds me of why I'm so passionate about what I do, because 1 hour really can make a difference. So our workforce prep program is structured, it's evidence-based, it's a 4-year program model that transforms students to be self-reliant, employable, and productive adults, okay? Our mentoring program is just for 10th grade. So how it works is that students are matched with business mentors from the community who will help them explore various careers, learning foundational competencies and critical soft skills. And so you work with those students for 1 day a week and you help them, like I mentioned, with Sharon and Depita, learn some of those critical skills. And so even though things are going virtually for this upcoming school year, we can still accomplish all these great things. We can help students with goal setting. Students will set an academic goal, they'll set career goals, they'll set personal goals. So they'll understand the process. So as they move forward in life, we believe goal setting is key to being successful, that they'll use these principles and it'll help them maintain success. Career exploration assistance, which is what I mentioned before. Students do certain online assessments to help them find the best career fit for their uniqueness. job readiness skills, anywhere from networking to how to communicate on the job, how to have the proper soft skills like handshakes and things like that is something we'll teach kids. Confidence building and exposure to new things. So your role, part of your role as a mentor, you will read a coaching email that'll be sent from the program facilitator at the school that you'll be placed in. So we'll send you a coaching email each week and it'll say, this is what we're doing this week. It'll outline for you the lesson, maybe give you some talking points, so some conversation starters, maybe an article or something if you want to read it to make sure you feel comfortable with that subject. But that's what we do each week, going into a different topic. But also at the beginning of the semester, you'll get a syllabus. So it'll actually outline the whole year. So you can put on your calendar, you'll know your day, your time, you'll know the subject matter, but we just give you those reminders each week. You'll lead your mentees through discussions and exploration with the support of our staff, and you'll report any concerns to our staff. So you're working one-on-one or 2 to 4-on-1 with your students, and they're going to connect with you. And they may tell you certain things that we don't know about. And so we just ask for you to report those concerns to us. Some examples would be maybe in conversation, you find out one of your mentees' parents just lost their job, and they're a little stressed about it. And so if you share that with us, Winning Futures have resources, we have partners that may have resources, and our role is to support the student. So we want you to report those things that you hear. Send monthly notes, text messages, card in the mail for their birthday or something along those lines outside of the 1 hour a week, just to maintain a tight-knit communication with the students and just have fun. Mentoring is fun. And we expect that it's going to stay fun, even though we are virtually. We are working really hard to modify our plans and still make them hands-on and fun, even through the virtual platform. And so this is what a session would look like. 10 minutes facilitation of the day. So maybe we're talking about goal setting. So there'll be a facilitation on goal setting. Then a 15 minutes hands-on activity led by staff. And then 30-minute virtual mentor touch point with activities and discussion. So that's kind of the breakdown of how a session will work. We are in 7 schools, 6 cities, 3 counties, okay? So we're in Detroit at Cass Tech in Mumford. We're in Harper Woods at Harper Woods High. That's where Michael mentor. We are in Pontiac at Pontiac Academy for Excellence. We are in Southfield at Southfield High for the Arts and Technology. We are in Sterling Heights at Community High and in Warren at Warren Mott High School. So throughout, it's a year-long program. So from October to May, we're thinking we're going to have somewhere between 10 and 18 sessions. Now, our normal, when we go on site program, is 21 sessions. But again, because of the precautions that we need to take and we're having a virtual program, we're going to have to cut some of those sessions in half. And honestly, until we get some final wording from our school partners, we're not really sure exactly how many sessions. So we're just trying to be honest and upfront with you guys, but we'll have somewhere between 10 and 18 sessions from October till May. But before we get started, you will be very clear on what to expect. So I am done. We are at this point where we can take questions. Please, again, if you have any questions, use the question and answer box, not the chat. And we have Kenton, who's going to moderate those questions for me, and I'll answer them.
All right, Kimberly. So far, it seems like they have one consensus question, and it's John, Diane, and Amber, and they're asking if what are the virtual options for mentoring online? Or like, what can they do? Maybe elaborate upon more about virtual mentoring.
Okay, so basically it's going to look the same way as our in-person mentor, except it'll be virtual. So again, you'll have a topic. There'll be some type of, for example, goal setting. So there'll be a topic that the students will be privy to, and whether that's kind of like this webinar, me actually in your session, you know, giving the facilitation, or it could be a recording. We're still trying to see, honestly, what's going to be the best way, but there's going to be a facilitation that you'll either play, share your screen during your virtual connection with your students. Then after that, there'll be some hands-on activities where we'll provide materials for students, for mentors to be able to complete these activities. And then you will walk students through workbook pages. So you'll have a workbook, the students will have a workbook, and they'll be walking through, you'll be walking through activities and questions with students. And so virtual, it's going to be done kind of like a platform like this on Zoom. And so you will have a time frame where you're connecting with your 2 to 4 students, and everyone log in and everyone just kind of go through the process that way. Did I answer your question? Just let me know if that was clear. And again, I want to reiterate, you know, as you all are probably hearing with your job, I mean, things are fluid. Things are still moving, changing. Things used to change every hour, but we're kind of on like a every other day type of change. So, but we will keep you all posted. We will make sure however we have to adjust because of the schools. We're still waiting on the schools to let us know how they're going to work with us. It will not exceed your 1 hour a week commitment. Okay.
Hey, another person asks, how do the kids learn about the program and opt to sign up for it?
Yes, so we are again looking to change possibly in the fall how students sign up. But as of right now, our school partners, they give us the students that we're going to work with based on scheduling and all those good things. They tell us, hey, you're going to work with Miss Williams first, second, and third hour, second, third, and fifth hour. And so, so we work with those students. So they are just put in the program, but they do have a chance to opt out of the program if it's something they don't want to participate in. And we rarely have students opt out. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a student opt out in 4 years just from my school. So that's how students become a part of the program.
All right. Another person asks, how is the hours scheduled how are the hours scheduled? Is it the same time every week?
Yes, a great question. So again, you'll find out in September. So we do ask in the application for you to give us some preferences as far as what day will work best for you. Our programming is done in the morning. So our programming is usually done between first and fourth hour of a school day. So that's usually between 7:30 and noon. And so once we find out, you tell us what day works best for you. And once we find out what hours we're working at that school, we'll give you those options, and you can let us know what'll work in your schedule. And it's consistent. So once you say, hey, Tuesday at 8:30 at CAS, you're going to be working with your students virtually Tuesday at 8:30 every week. Well, every week that we're in session. So the 10 to 18 weeks may not be consecutive, but we'll give you a calendar and a schedule.
Another person asks, are there any students who may not have access to a computer or Wi-Fi?
So
which may prohibit them from access. So yeah, how was this addressed is what she was asking.
Okay, great. So we are working with our school partners and the districts, and as of right now, we know that students will all have laptops and Wi-Fi capabilities. For example, one of our districts is saying, because they're still not sure if they're going to be working virtual or in person, but just for the summer and to finish and to close out last school year, they provided all their students with laptops. So all of the students will have access to the technologies that they need.
Another question says, so is it okay if we do not live in Michigan?
It is okay. And that's the cool thing about going virtual, where this is new for us. And we're really excited about it. We've had mentors that's mentored with us for a while, and now they moved to different states, and they're able to go through the process and be a virtual mentor. So absolutely, we are actually even working through the process if you're in another country, being able to mentor. So it works.
I think that's going to be huge for a lot of us because I've met the majority of the people that's here, and everybody is amazing. They all have a lot that they can add to this whole program. So by us being able to go virtual, it's going to be a huge impact for those students, because I've learned so much from most of the people on here, you know, mainly everybody on here. I've learned a lot from them. So I think that's going to be major by us being able to go virtual and have them part of this program.
Yeah, we're really excited about it on our end as well. So, all right, Kenton.
Right. That looks about, oh, hang on, there's one more. What is the timeline to engagement? Meaning, when would we be assigned a mentee, and when would mentor?
Yeah, so basically, we don't find out the student pool that we'll be working with until school is back in. So school is back in September, and we usually give the schools about 3 weeks to get settled. You know, kids have their schedules, and some need to change classes and all that. So we give them a few weeks to get settled. So when they do give us students, we don't have students dropping the program because they're moved from the class. And so we typically start our program mid-October because of all of those adjustments. So once we get our pool of students, and once you all officially apply to be a mentor and you go through the interview and the background check, then we have you complete what's called a profile sheet. So you tell us all about you, your career pathway, things you do for fun. And we ask students those same questions, and we match based on career pathways. Is the first way that we try to match students. Family background and origin is another way that we try to match students. And so a lot of that takes place officially around the first week of August, in our October, excuse me. And then our program starts mid-October.
Okay. Another question.
And, there's another question?
Oh, there's one more.
Okay.
So far.
Well, let me say this before you say, I know someone needed to leave, and that's totally fine. If you check in the chat box, my contact information is in there, as well as a link for you to fill out an application if you're interested. So please go to the chat box, copy down my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me, copy down the link to fill out an application, and that gets the ball rolling. So we can reach out to you, give you an interview, and it goes from there. All right, I'll take this last question, Kenton. Oh, you're muted. I'm not sure if you're speaking, but you're muted.
Apologies. What are the biggest barriers that students face?
That's loaded. You know, because we are in 3 different counties and we're in different schools, some students face some similar things, but it's different. It's different from one school population to another. But I think the big thing is students need mentors. They need support. They need someone that they could trust, someone who's consistent, that they can talk to. So whether it's, I have no idea what I want to do in life. Like, my goal is to graduate from high school and move in with my boyfriend. That literally could be a goal, and you can help because they hadn't seen anything else, and you can help expand their thought process about their future. Then you have some districts where poverty is a barrier. Fatherlessness is a barrier. So it just really depends. So that's pretty loaded.
All right, that's all we have so far.
All right. Well, if you guys can stick around for one more minute. So lots of great questions. I hope I answered them thoroughly for you. If you still have questions, in the chat box is my contact information. It'll show on the screen in a few minutes as well. Please go to this link and fill out if you're interested in learning more, or you just, right now you want to volunteer. Write this link down. Go to it, fill out an application, and someone will get with you within 24 hours, 48 hours. Someone will get with you and answer questions, and that's how the ball starts rolling. Okay, so again, thank you so much. It was great presenting before you all. Thank you, Michael. Please make sure you tell Cora, thank you again for setting this up.
Definitely will.
And again, if you guys have more questions, this is my contact information, as well as in the chat, the link for the application is also there. So you can take it down here, and I'll go back for a second so you can see this link as well. All right.
All right. Kimberly,
Yeah.
on behalf of our company and Shinola, I want to say thank you for everything that you're doing with Winning Futures. And from the amount of people we had on today, it's something that a lot of people have been interested in doing. And I'm glad that we were able to extend this out to everyone company-wide and across the country. Because like I said, when I first got into it 3 years ago, it was only me and one other person, So I'm hoping that, we had 27 people on today. I'm hoping that we can get at least 20 people to join board with us. So
Awesome.
I want to thank you on behalf of Shinola.
Well, my pleasure. And I noticed, I'm like, man, I was expecting 15, 16, and I saw that number go up to 27. So that's encouraging. So if you guys have questions, again, please reach out to us. We're here. We want to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. Be patient. As we know, things are fluid. We have some framework that we believe will stick and stay. But some things may adjust a little bit, but your commitment to 1 hour, 1 day a week will not change, and virtual will not change. So, all right, you guys, have a great rest of the afternoon, and hope to speak with you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.